And welcome back to Low Gear on a very miserable, drizzly Friday afternoon in my neck of the woods, which happens to be still at Pontedera. Now, EVs and disabled drivers, there's a more appropriate word. Diverse abilities. Okay, fair enough. Okay. Car dealers trying to flog off electric cars, obviously they are in a certain way trying to sell snake oil to these category of people in our society, disabled people, drivers, to boost the so-called sales of EVs. And the fact is, seeing these cars have to be readapted for the physical needs for these drivers, it doesn't come that cheap, you know. And especially when it comes to interfacing this disabled driving adapter is based on the disability of the individual itself. People are not all the same, basically. It's a valuation they do when you buy the first car. And so much electronics in these EVs, and to have another thing interface into it, it's a bit of a technological challenge. It's probably possible because it's all electronics. It hasn't got a manual gearbox, because usually on petrol or diesel cars, disabled drivers tend to buy most vehicles with automatic gearbox. It's a lot more easier, especially when it's an electronic commanded device. Okay, fair enough. And the difficulties of interfacing electronics, because it's very complicated. EVs, whatever model you buy, is very complicated. And plus, this adaptation will drain more energy from the battery itself of an electric car. So it uses twice as much electrical energy than you usually do. Because if it was a petrol car, it would come from the battery, the alternator, or charge the battery while the car's on the run. Electric cars do not have an alternator, do not charge when they're on the run. They only charge when it's just about nearly empty or flat, just about. They put it on charge, whether it's a full plug-in, okay. Problem in hybrids, you can get away with it as much of that problem. But there's a bit of a complication of electronics installation. And another safety factor we've been hearing about these electric cars, especially Teslas, they hit a wall, they burst into flames, and the occupants didn't have time to run away. You just imagine a disabled driver who's on a wheelchair, who does passage from the wheelchair on the driver's seat and put the wheelchair in the back of the car or along the side of them. In such an event, they won't have a chance in hell to get out of the car if it hits a thing and it bursts into flames, because when an electric car hits something, all the electrical devices, which are doors and windows, the energy gets cut off and you're blocked inside unless you don't smash it, windows to get out. I find it very difficult for them. This could be a death trap for them in case of a pretty serious road accident or a collision with another vehicle or an obstacle, guardrail or a wall. You don't know what could happen. And they haven't seen a lot more slower coming up due to their disabilities. It will become an instant death trap for them. On normal cars, as I know, one of the doors in an accident should be free to unlock, whether it's closed by manual or it's a centralised locking system by the safety standards, one door should open to be an exit to safety, basically. Okay? And obviously, who has a Fortuner charger car at home and disabled driver? Okay, fair enough. It's a bit of a bummer because, you know, on a wheelchair, trying to plug in that damn thing is a bit of a hassle if you're not used to it. And there should be more attention for these category drivers. And the safety on these electric vehicles, they should be increased for more higher standards. There is a loophole in the legislation